Ooh, that's some view, huh?
Tally-ho. So yeah, much like the thugs, you can literally clip yourself through any wall. It's rather precise to do, so if you're trying to do this on a specific wall, you might find yourself swinging back and forth over and over. You don't necessarily have to build up an incredible amount of speed, you just have to time the web swing and the swing boost at the appropriate distance away from the wall. It could also happen when you least expect it, such as this accidental wall clip while completing the last mission.
Only you shall be destroyed today, murderous pet.
In Spider-Man 2, when you enter an interior, that room is actually sent far below the city to prevent any lag from having to not only have most of the city loaded, but also everything inside the room as well, which could prove daunting for consoles around this time. If you exit this room by means of going out of bounds, you'll hit some water, which will transport you back up to the city. If you're fighting a boss or completing a mission at the time of the clip, those objectives will still be on screen. Of course, there's no way to get out of this, so you'll have to reload your save file. On a side note, after clipping out of bounds during this fight, if you re-enter the building again, you'll notice this little room that's normally never shown, along with a few civilians. Not sure why they'd be down there, perhaps either for testing or what was supposed to be something extra for one of the cutscenes? This of course is all speculation and could be nothing, but it's interesting to think about. While swinging through walls is rather difficult to do when you want, there are some clips which are much easier. Early on in the story, there's this art gallery which has some rather unwanted attention. After abandoning Mary Jane, you'll head over to the gallery to stop these art thieves. If by some chance you rather feel like going home and spending hours clicking on the same websites over and over, you can do that by simply sprinting into either one of these corners and using a full charge jump. Just like clipping out, clipping in is also a breeze, though if you're doing this outside of this chapter mission, you won't be able to see the gallery even though you can walk around in an empty room. There are times where you're not meant to go into the Daily Bugle to report for work. This is evident if you're in a mission or race and try to enter, only to see the vent doors locked, but even though you're in the middle of something, you do need to pay your bills.
I need that money.
By doing the same thing as the art gallery clip, only this time on the side of this door, you'll be able to show JJ all the shots you got for him. If you're doing this while you're already in one of the many races in the city, then pause and restart the race, you'll spawn right back outside as Peter.
Spider-Man's real name is... Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker.
Take your hand off of me.
Despite thinking that you just revealed Spider-Man's true identity, you can't actually use any of the web moves or anything. The only thing you can really do is walk around and gracefully fall from the tops of these buildings. Since you were just in the Daily Bugle, only a portion of the city is loaded, and upon going towards the edge of this portion, you'll be greeted to... nothing. Peter will even freeze at the sight of this black void that now plagues New York. Well, you almost blew your cover for the entire world to see, but at least you're doing a great job cleaning up the rampant crime.
Not today, I'm afraid. Don't let that stop me from asking you later, though.
Seriously? Providing there are either a gang of thugs nearby, or you're in a mission which has them present, you can bring them into the building. An easy version of this goes back to the art gallery, where by leading a thug towards the door, clipping outside, then using grapple on him, you'll be able to bring him to the top of the Daily Bugle. You can bring this menace down the vent with you after clipping into the door, then using grapple, or enter the building and then exit to break the door wide open. You may not see anything at first, but by walking more towards the office area and then back into the bathroom, you may be surprised to see him just hanging around while he beats you up, with no way of being able to retaliate. You can lead him into the office by just being nearby so he can try to attack you. If this didn't seem like fun enough, you could do the same thing with some nearby thugs, such as a group involved in a petty crime, and upon bringing only one in with you, some more may drop down. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. During Chapter 8, you'll need to rush over to Mary Jane's play as you nearly forgot again. You won't get to watch the play though, as a robbery will take place that requires your attention. After saving the day once again, it'll finally be time to head over to the theater. Yet, despite your best efforts, you missed it. Black Cat, the mysterious acrobat with a rather large personality, will engage you in a chase. This entails following her throughout the city to some destination. Then again, it's probably about that time to go see if Robbie needs anything.
Not today, I'm afraid.
Being careful not to stray too far away from Cat, while she moves around you can head over to the vent entrance and clip in. Providing she's far away enough, if you can fail the mission as Peter, you can retry from where you left off. Upon doing so, you're Spider-Man again, but things will be very off. You can't move, but you can spin around, and Black Cat's in a rather peculiar position, even though she can still move, to some extent. Yeah, and then she'll just keep leaving you.
Yep. Got away with the ladies, Spidey. Mr. Smooth.
On some occasions, when entering the bugle which follows up with a cutscene, instead of playing out like normal, Peter will spawn in the bathroom and keep walking forward. Even when you hit the wall, his brain will be stuck in a never-ending loop of moving forward with no real objective. Pete's a man of many talents. On rare occasions, he'll like to practice magic. Now you see him, now you don't. Though it'll stay like this even after going outside. You can't jump, and when you try to walk off a building, well, you're frozen, but somehow it's possible to still barely move in the air. In the recording, this was done during Chapter 9, which forced the mission to end once the timer ran out. Upon retrying, this effect wore off. There are more spots which can help you clip out of bounds. In Chapter 7, the psychotic movie effects expert, Quentin Beck, will challenge Spider-Man to a contest to prove the masked vigilante is nothing but a fraud. There will be 2 tasks to complete. The first being a thug roundup, with whoever scoring the most thugs captured in the correct container wins. After this, you're thrust into an obstacle course, with Beck arming a laser cannon which can shoot you if you're out in the open. Hit the switches to get to the next set of moving walls, and get to the end to finish the test. Upon making it to the 4th switch, a checkpoint will be saved in the background, so if you do fail, you can get right back to it from the middle of the course. From this platform, use a full charge jump to jump backwards, and using web swings, head up to the ceiling like so. Attaching to this beam will help you get to the ceiling. You'll notice 2 different colors for the ceiling. The transition from the dark to light color is where you want to crawl to. Doing that will bring you out of bounds, onto an invisible platform you can stand on. If you dive straight back into the crowd, you'll land in water which will warp you to the city like before. You want to be quick to get this to work, as waiting around too long will cause Beck to shoot you again and again. It may be quite common that even though you'd perform everything, Beck will still shoot you even though you're now in the city. Doing it fast enough will keep you in the city, where you can still hear the noises from the obstacle course. Just like the movie, through the story you'll meet Dr. Otto Octavius, a scientist whose life's work brought him to create a machine which will create sustainable energy. Over time, things don't quite go as planned, and the helper arms he developed will malfunction, causing him to be brainwashed by the arms into finishing the project at all costs, even if it means taking the lives of countless innocents. In Chapter 11, you'll want to meet up with Aunt May at the bank. During what seems like a normal visit, the now unruly Doc Ock will rob the bank, forcing Peter to go into hero mode and stop this crime from happening. Fighting Doc Ock can be a bit challenging with the arms trying to attack you frequently, along with Octavius's goons attempting to stab you constantly as well. Sometimes when Otto gets hit, he'll like to exaggerate a bit. If he gets hit as one of his helper arms grabs you, he'll take you with him. Quite a few things could happen from here. It just so happens that he could grab onto you, start having an episode, and let go of you, potentially out of bounds. This happened to me during the middle of a speedrun a few years ago.
What happened?
What?! It was bizarre to have been seemingly thrown into oblivion, only to reappear in one of the city's park lakes. With everything being far down below and no pedestrians or cars in sight, it seemed like the run was inevitably dead. What didn't make any sense on top of this, though, was the fact that upon leaving the general area of where I ended up, Spider-Man landed in more invisible water in the middle of the air, only to have skipped the first phase of the bank mission? Yeah, fighting Doc Ock wasn't even necessary. you could just move right along to the other few thugs in the next room. It still doesn't quite make sense to me as to what happened here, but I suppose that's the nature of these things.
Oh!
Look what we have here. So, it seems I've finally caught up to you. What made you think you were going to get away with interfering with my work?
Hideous! Let him go! He's my brother!
Ah, now we have the family stepping in on me. All for a worthless, rookie, wannabe Jedi. It's a shame, really. But caring is not my policy.
Where the heck am I now?
Make a wish, honey.